Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's Up With That, the show that brings you interesting people, places, cultures, and subcultures here in the South Bay, the San Francisco Bay Area, the state of California, and beyond. And tonight, what's up with capturing San Jose history? What's up with Wang Jiang? What's up with History San Jose? And what's up with the emerging cultural diversity that we're seeing in our valley? Well, you know, I've said to you many times that San Jose seems to sit, or many people seem to assume, that we sit in the footsteps of San Francisco. As we've discovered over the years, you and me together, we've realized that San Jose is an emerging cultural city. We have great artists, up-and-coming artists. We have great museums. We have everything. And San Jose was actually the first state capital of California. Did you know that? And it was a place where Bank of America started. So there. Well, tonight we have a very exciting show featuring two very culturally diverse and interesting people to talk to us about San Jose. We have an artist here, Wayne Jiang, who is going to show us some wonderful pictures of San Jose, the San Jose that we love. And we also have Sarah Puckett. She is a curator for History San Jose. We're very lucky to have them on our show. Welcome to the show. What's up with that? How are you?
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Wayne, let's start with you. How would you describe your artistic style?
My artistic style would be I do paintings of everyday life, things that people often overlook, and you know, moments in life that are fleeting and yet memorable.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a simplicity sort of in your art.
Yes.
So when you're looking for something, when you're looking for what you're going to paint, what inspires you? What catches your eye?
Different things. First of all, you know, when making a good painting, you want something visually interesting.
Right.
Also, something people, for me, I like to look at things that people always often overlook. Like, you know, a sign on the street at night, how the light reflects off the signpost that makes a very beautiful reflection. You know, the soy sauce bottle in a Chinese restaurant in the corner. You know, little things like that. You know, it's kind of like stop and smelling the roses, except I'm finding something that even simpler than that we can appreciate.
Things that sort of people take for granted in life, but experience every day. You know. It's the beauty and the simplicity of life.
Yeah, and there's plenty of that in San Jose. You know, there's a lot of little things that in San Jose people overlook. You know, that are in my painting.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, you work preserving the history of San Jose, and you've certainly seen a progression. What's your take on San Jose and where it is today as opposed to where it's been?
Well, San Jose has become even more diverse culturally than when it was founded, although it was pretty diverse then too. But, you know, there's a large Vietnamese community in San Jose, and many other cultures.
Right. So now that you've decided on something that you're going to paint, do you start with, do you take a photograph of it?
Yes. Yeah, well, I paint from photograph. A lot of my paintings are of night scenes. So it would be a little difficult to, you know, paint outside somebody's house. Like, hey, you know.
What you doing?
Exactly. Oh, can you turn the light back on? I'm not quite done yet.
Exactly.
So, and also.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. A little creepy.
Yeah.
But more to the point, photography captures spontaneity of life quite a bit. And I like the fact that a lot of my work is influenced by documentary photography.
Right.
So I like to take a lot of photos and look at what's interesting. So there's, so I can evaluate the subject when I'm taking the photo, evaluate it when I'm, you know, look at which one I need to paint, and then when I'm painting it, there's another revision of that. So.
Okay, so the process begins with the photo. Then we go to what?
The photo, and then I combine different references from different photos. One of the painting I'm thinking right now is the Babyland photo. It's a long panoramic painting. And I took over about 50 photo of that. So I combine different elements I like in different shots into a painting.
Right.
And I and then I do a pencil drawing on top of my canvas.
Okay.
And then I use this layering technique that I use. Basically, use laying different underpaints on top of each other.
Right.
And then the final color on it. So it's a pretty involved process. It takes quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so you talk about Babyland, which is a landmark building in San Jose, architecturally as well, and location-wise, it's like dead in the middle of town.
Yeah, yeah.
What attracted you to that particular building?
Well, it's that building's got, well, for one thing, I used to live around there. I live.
Your mom used to buy your stuff at Babyland?
Not that old. I live. At 2 points in my life, for a while I lived in the Rose Garden area, and then for a while I lived in the near Burbank.
Right.
So I was always drive by there very often, and it's a very surreal crossroad, because it's kind of because Bascom goes to Campbell, and then Stevens Creek and San Carlos goes to downtown. So it's kind of like a border point. And then it's a lot of different, it's kind of a mixture of different icons of San Jose in there. You have the Western Appliance, which has been there forever.
Right.
And then Babyland. And then transition to the corner, which is Pink Poodle.
Right.
It's this kind of wonderful juxtaposition of San Jose. There's a little bit of everything.
Right.
And it's in the middle of a bedroom community. So it's,
I actually didn't really think about that now, but I see what you're saying. That's sort of forget the old Western Appliance, Baby, and then that other.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And one really interesting footnote, Babyland, for the longest time, I thought it was a drive-in, like some sort of, skate drive-in, where you drive up and the skate bring you the food.
Burger place,
Right, exactly. It turns out that used to be a car dealership. British Motor used to be there.
Oh, really?
They used to have Jaguars and all kind of British cars there. So I did not know that when I painted that. And after I was I'm showing the painting in the show that's right now. Somebody actually told me what that was. So that's one of the joy of doing these location paintings. I get to find out a lot of things about it.
And you're preserving San Jose history in the making.
I hope so.
I think you are.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at some of your paintings in a video clip here, including the one that you just described.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other ones that we're going to see.
Okay.
So let's check out this gentleman's art. It's fantastic. Well, we got to see some of your art, and we talked a little bit about Babyland. The next one that we looked at was a tower. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that's?
The painting is called Calm Before Nightfall. Is painting of the light tower in city of History San Jose Park. It's a replica of a light tower once existed in downtown San Jose.
Right.
And which History San Jose has a is it a quarter-sized replica?
Yes.
A quarter-sized replica. And it's part of my night painting series, which I deal a lot with solitude. In San Jose, there's such an interesting light at night that and it's very quiet at night in San Jose. So
it is comforting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very comfort yet mysterious light. So my night painting series is trying to capture that, and that's a good example of my painting series.
And the other one we saw is looks like a kind of a skyline with the Burbank Theater.
Yeah, it's basically looking at the Burbank area and 280, the intersection between 280 and 880, looking toward 280 and 280 and the Burbank Theater.
Right.
Yeah,
and I think that's an interesting part of San Jose because it's really where everything's emerging.
Yes.
You have the downtown coming this way,
right.
and you have the Westfield and Santana Row and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then there's that little corner there.
Yeah, it's a place where you can really kind of get a sense of the liveliness of San Jose with the highway going by, and also really get a good sense of contemplation because you kind of far away enough from the busy things in life that you can think about what's going on in the valley.
Creating art, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how did you two come to meet each other?
Well, we first met at San Jose State. We were both students in the art department at San Jose State. And I worked in the gallery office as a student employee. And Wayne was one of those students that wanted to exhibit. And so every semester he had a show. That was how I first got to know him. He was a very prolific painter even then. And then I followed his career. I've seen his exhibits at Spratt Gallery and then at the Triton. That was a really memorable show for me.
So, as a curator for San Jose history, what do you do, and what does your organization do?
Sure. History San Jose is a regional history museum and site. We manage History Park for the city of San Jose, and we manage their collection of artifacts. We also manage a downtown site, and we have a lot of educational programs. And what we try to do is share the stories of the founding and the continuing growth of San Jose and Santa Clara Valley and Silicon Valley.
Yeah. I took my students there one time, and we had a good time. I remember the classroom.
The schoolhouse.
We sat in the old schoolhouse, and it was, they were amazed at how the desks and everything were so different, and how at that time when you went to school, you sat in your row and you behaved yourself. Long are those days gone, let me tell you. So how is History San Jose different from, let's say, the Historical Society of San Jose? Are they the same thing?
They're the same thing now. There were two institutions that merged when the city wanted to form a nonprofit to manage the collections. And I work with the collection, and I work to put together exhibits that tell the stories.
Okay. From what you've discovered, what you've seen, kind of give me an idea of what San Jose was like, let's say 50 years ago, or longer than that, 100 years ago.
100 years ago, that would have been turn of the century. Well, the electric light tower was downtown. San Jose was a bustling city at the turn of the 20th century.
Close enough.
Yeah. There were trolleys and streetcars, and it was very active. There was an agricultural community. The great thing about San Jose is that it's always reinventing itself.
Right.
And it's done that a couple of times. One of the most interesting things that I've learned about San Jose since working at the museum is about New Almaden mines and the Quicksilver mine, and how without Quicksilver you wouldn't have had gold. You couldn't have mined gold without the Quicksilver, so it was an integral part of the gold rush.
See?
And so an awful lot of people came to San Jose because of that. Or they went to get to mine gold, didn't work out, and they ended up in San Jose.
I've never actually thought of San Jose being a gold rush town, but that's pretty cool. See, and these are things that you wouldn't find out unless you went to History San Jose probably and learned about these things. So when people come to History San Jose, what can they expect to see when they come to the park, let's say?
When they come to the park, well, we are a city park with a number of original buildings that were moved to the park and reconstructed buildings that are copied from buildings that no longer exist. And what we've been doing is working with nonprofit organizations to kind of adopt different houses. And for example, San Jose Poetry Center moved into Edwin Markham's home, and he was Poet Laureate of California. And they do programs out of that building, and their offices are there. And we both raised money to fix the house up so that they could occupy it.
All right. So preserving the past. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more with these two great contributors to San Jose.
He didn't look. He didn't listen.
It's like him believing that if I could see him, that I could stop the train.
He drove right out in front of me. Didn't he know that sign meant yield?
Takes me 1.5 miles to stop. 1.5 miles.
The whole time I'm just praying that she would just move. She didn't move.
Hi, my name is James. I'm with tmatthew.org. I'm here to tell you that there are thousands of people suffering with leukemia today, and one of those people happened to be my best friend, Matthew. We're trying desperately to try to find him a match at this point, and I'm urging you to actually help out in any way that you can. You can register to be a bone marrow donor, which is the most important thing you can do. You can help volunteer with our efforts, or you can spread the word to other people so they can get them to volunteer. You can learn about more details at our website, tmatthew.org, or join our Facebook group, MySpace group. We also have a Twitter page so that you can get more information from. So I urge you to go out there and save a life.
All right, well, welcome back to What's Up With That. And I wanted to ask you, why is Wayne's art important to History San Jose?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. One of the things that we like to do at History San Jose is present recent history, not just history from the oldie-timey days. And Wayne's, even though it may not be a primary focus for him, he is documenting current day San Jose history.
Right.
The Babyland painting is a really good example. The building has had a couple of different lives. It's a very iconic site. The Burbank painting also.
Babyland. I mean, Babe's Muffler.
And Babe's Muffler. You know, people that live
That's the one
here.
with the big guy.
Yeah.
People that live here recognize those. And that's one of the things that's really great about seeing his work at the gallery is the work is accessible because of that.
Yeah, people can identify with it.
People can identify it. They recognize scenes. The still lifes that you were talking about before, I like those because
the Asian restaurants,
because they show your skill at still life. You get into the painterly quality of it.
And they have a lot of humanity to them. You know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, for you, what makes San Jose interesting for you to capture, as opposed to San Francisco or something?
Well, for one thing, there's a couple of things. The night painting, I painted different locations of night paintings in the Bay Area. San Jose does have that really distinctive yellow light, thanks to our street lights. So there's that very interesting color theme.
Surreal sort of.
Right,
Like...
but it's a very warm and almost kind of lazy quality to the night theme. And there's a calm and comfort and mystery about that sense of solitude at night in San Jose. Whereas in San Francisco, the lights are brighter, and there's a more extreme feels of excitement and danger.
A distraction.
Yeah, definitely. And then the suburban San Jose, it's much more soft and comforting. So that's the difference there. Yeah.
So for History San Jose, what do you think are some of the jewels of San Jose that have yet to be captured?
Well, the new City Hall, for one. I would love to see some artists interpret that fabulous building.
That is really a wonderful building. I mean, it's awe-inspiring when you see it. I was thinking, I mean, this one just popped in the back of my head.
Next project.
the orange hot dog stand place.
I did that. I
Did
did a
you?
painting of that, yeah. It's
Oh,
not an
good.
exhibit right now because I couldn't get it.
I mean,
but,
that's so weird that I just,
yeah.
you think you're going to like an Orange Julius or whatever.
You know,
that's
it
a hot dog place.
It was.
Oh, it
I did a
was?
little research on that.
Okay.
That was a orange stand that all over California at one point.
Okay.
If you would drive, you know, if you drive on Highway 5 or whatever, there will be 100 of these places. People would stop and get orange juice from these yellow cones.
Yeah, because I always try to figure
Yes.
out why you go there for hot dogs. And
Yeah.
it's, you know, I just did.
Yeah, it was an orange stand.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
see, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I am learning so much tonight. Okay, either of you can answer this question. What aspect of San Jose's history do you feel has been like the least explored?
Wow. I think it would be interesting to know more about the transition from agriculture to silicon chips.
Right.
And I work with a lot of senior citizens who are volunteers at the museum, and many of them grew up working in the apricot fields.
Right, or the canneries.
Yes.
Yes. Del
And
Monte.
then went on and worked for some of the high-tech companies before they retired.
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to learn more about how that happened and why. Why here?
Right. I think also about just the cultural, the different emerging cultures, and it was like, from what I understand, there was a large Italian population at one time in San Jose.
Yes.
You know, that people don't really know about that. There's got to be something.
There
Got to be
was
able
a
to find
China-
something
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a large African American community.
Right. And people
that has
don't
been
think of
here
that.
a long time.
And people don't think of that. You know, in San Jose, again, it's perception. We think of San Jose, we think of the computer chip and you know how things have changed. What's the oddest thing you have in your collection?
Oh wow, we have lots.
I love odd stuff. I mean,
Oh, let's see. We have I don't even know what they're called, but it's a little monkey inside of a glass dome. That's a wind-up toy.
okay.
And it's Victorian and really
Freaky.
odd.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure the kids like that though, huh?
Yes. Absolutely.
So is this the only medium you only paint in acrylic or?
Yes, acrylic. I was painting oil in college and I got allergic to it.
There'll be a problem, huh?
Yeah, so also you can, acrylic is great because you can paint at home and you don't require ventilation.
Yeah, you don't gas yourself to
Yeah,
death.
yeah, and it's a, if you see my painting, they're very detailed, there's a lot of layer to it. I use a glazing technique that I developed by looking at Old Master, and acrylic actually works really great with that because it dries so fast. I can do a lot of one layer one day.
Yeah, so that, how long would you say it takes to complete a picture?
That's a tough, yeah, it depends. Well, I always give people two answers to that. The more practical one is that it depends. You know, if there's figure in it, it takes longer. Or if it's a bigger painting, it's longer.
Or
But
someone's buying it soon, has a special request. I mean, let's be real here, okay?
yeah. Painting people's faces takes a long time. But the real answer I always like to tell people is that it really takes a lifetime to finish a painting because whatever painting you finish last, it's based on what you learned from the past. So it really takes a lifetime to finish one painting.
So do you think that being, having come from another nation and coming to San Jose gives you a different perspective in painting Americana?
Oh, definitely. you know, I came here when I was 15. I went, you know, I didn't speak that much English, and I went to high school here, and so it gave me I feel like I'm both an insider and an outsider.
Right. Like the outside looking in.
Exactly,
sort of, yeah.
and that's in some of my night painting as well. And so it gives me there's definitely some emotional connection to the subject matter I'm painting, but also coming from a different culture give you a outsider point of view looking at it. So it works well in my paintings.
Yeah, because I would think that,
Yeah.
I mean, myself coming from another place too, it's so, the final question, we have time for one more question. So
Yeah.
what role does social media play in promotion? In other words, word of mouth. What role has that done for you?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, you're in the Silicon Valley. You have to talk about technology and art. It's definitely give you a different way to promote yourself and get to know about other people, getting to know your work. You know, like say 100 years ago, you know, the only way to see art is going to a gallery. You know, now you can find my work on my website,
Right.
on Facebook, on television shows, and all
Yeah.
kinds of mediums. So it definitely helps if you know what to do. Yeah.
I still think people should make an effort to get out to the galleries.
Oh,
though,
absolutely.
And do
Yeah.
the social.
Well, there's nothing
social
like seeing a
experience.
painting in real person.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. Yeah, like a live concert.
And even though we live in the Silicon Valley, I
Right.
think we need to get away from the computer screen every once in a while and enjoy life a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go to History San Jose. Go see his exhibit. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank
It's been great. Your art is awesome. Thank you so much for the
Thank
job that
you.
you're doing for San Jose, because San Jose needs to be, people need to understand their roots. They need to understand the beauty of this place. So, as always, I say to my fans, if you're walking down the street and you see something interesting and you wonder to yourself, hey, what's up with that? Like a painting on Babyland or whatever. Well, you have to tune into our show, What's Up With That? And maybe, just maybe, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. We'll see you next week on What's Up With That. Good night, everybody.